Vietnam's ruling party chief To Lam has been elected as president after a vote in the National Assembly. This consolidates To Lam's power after his re-election as the Communist Party's General Secretary earlier this year. To Lam has pledged, quote, a new growth model that's likely to build on previous political and economic reforms. And from our CNA senior correspondent Leong Wai Kit joins us live from Hanoi. Wai Kit, we have an idea now, that new growth model from To Lam, so a clear idea of where his priorities will be as president and party chief.
Right, the work is cut out for Vietnam now that it's named all its top leaders. Like you mentioned, the growth model, I will pick up on that. The growth model that Vietnam is now looking at, they're trying to beef up the sector in digital transformation as well as science and technology as growth model to push forward to achieve very ambitious economic growth targets. Remember, Vietnam has set 10% per annum of annual growth for the next 5 years. The latest set of numbers has just dropped. The first quarter of this year, the GDP growth is at about 7.83%. If you compare that to the previous quarter, that has obviously slowed. Some are saying that they are concerned that the Vietnam government may not be able to meet their targets. Yet at the same time, the government of Vietnam is framing this positively. It says that this is positive, especially in the backdrop of very volatile conditions caused by the Middle East. Of course, oil prices is a concern here, but for now, Vietnamese are still not concerned because the government has rolled out various measures, the chief of which is the suspension of a fuel tax, which is set to end in mid-April, but the government is considering extending that to the end of June. At the same time, the government is making sure that it imports enough to last for the month and is also ordered for the production of fuel domestically.
All right, Wai Kit, To Lam has pedigree as well on foreign policy because as party chief, he has been very strong. Foreign policy for him has been a crucial and regular task. So we know where he would stand on Vietnam's policy.
That's right. Now, when he takes the post as president, it's very unlikely that he will shift or change any of Vietnam's foreign policy. What will change, though, perhaps, is the pace and intensity in which he makes Vietnam out to engage with various partners. Now, if we take a step back and look at the past recent years, you will appreciate that Vietnam has been building up its ambition to play a bigger role in geopolitics, to contribute more to global peace. Quick example, Mr. To Lam back in 2024, he had gone to the UN, spoken at the UN Summit of the Future. He had made an appearance there. He had also made his first historic trip to the ASEAN Secretariat last year. And that's a very strong signal that Vietnam is ready to be a stronger player within ASEAN, closer to the region. Now, Vietnam as a whole is also trying to be a magnet to all these diplomatic engagements. In 2024, it started an ASEAN Future Forum. I've been attending that forum ever since. And it's been also able to attract world leaders, including Mr. Hanoi last year. And most recently, Vietnam had also held its first China-Vietnam 3+3 dialogue, where they spoke with their China counterparts on issues like diplomacy, defense, and public security. So moving forward, we can expect Mr. To Lam to bring Vietnam closer to the region, expose himself a little bit more, perhaps make use of platforms that can allow him to articulate Vietnam's position on geopolitics.
Thanks. CNA's Leong Wai Kit there looking at why it matters that To Lam is now both party chief as well as president of Vietnam. Of course, Vietnam's new parliament naming their 5 key leaders in this new parliamentary session, and To Lam taking 2 of those 5 positions. Leong Wai Kit reporting from Hanoi.